Today is day 72 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you would like to sponsor a share or more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. It would be very much appreciated. We are doing today Siman Mem Gimel, Seif Hey, and to Siman Mem Gimel, Seif Tes. Hey, we're talking still about urinating and defecating in relation to tefillin. The Rambam seems to say that it's forbidden to urinate when the tefillin are on your head. Whether it's a real bathroom or just an ad hoc bathroom, you should be concerned with his words, and obviously the machmir not to urinate with tefillin on one's head. Mishnah Pura says that if there's a compelling reason, such as that you will miss tefillah b'tzibur, you're going to rely on the first opinion, which is that one can keep one's tefillin on while urinating, but you should have to be very careful not to come to pass gas. Nevertheless, the Mishnah Pura says the minhag is to remove the shalosh, and also the shalyad. It's proper to remove the ritzuos from the hand. That you shouldn't come, reason being, shouldn't come to have your ritzuos on when you are wiping yourself from whatever drops remain. Back to Arukh HaShulchan. The Rambam says, you need to go to the bathroom. Should not put the tefillin in holes in the walls, presumably. Next Rosh Hashanah go in. Because maybe they'll be stolen by passers-by. I said what you do. Even if all you have to do is urinate. Take up the tefillin 4 amos away. And roll them in a cloth. Come in Sefer Torah, as if they're a Sefer Torah. And hold them in your right hand opposite your heart. And the Ritzu should not come out more than from underneath your hand. You go in and attend to your needs. When you come out, distance go again 4 amos away from the base hakisei, and you put it back on. When is this true base hakisei kavua? In a permanent bathroom. Where he's going to sit down, and therefore there's not going, even when he urinates, as we said before, and therefore they're not going to be drops falling on him. I'll basically say a rai, which is an ad hoc bathroom where you urinate standing up. You shouldn't go into that there even if they're wrapped up. You take them off and give them to a friend of yours to watch. And because the meiraglaim, the urine only dissipates when you're sitting down, or in chopped up dirt, or on an angle. So Rosh Hashanah says, explain that the reason why you're not allowed to even we are not allowed to urinate standing up when they're on your head is mishum chashash hafacha. So they're afraid you're going to pass gas. Lo sheyesh etzem isur lashtim tefillin. Not that there's an actual independent prohibition to urinate in tefillin. Lo sheyesh isur g'dolim, as there exists by urinating when against wearing tefillin while defecating. So that's the standard interpretation of the Rambam. But the Arukh HaShulchan has its own interpretation. Shekasa, because he says shachach nichnasa beis. This later on. Shachach, the Rambam says shachach nichnasa beis. He said, if you forgot and did go to a bathroom with lavush tefillin, put your hand upon them ad shigmor hamud rishon, until the first burst comes out. The yod say v'chol come out and take them off. Achach nichnas v'osur kol torah. Then you come back in and finish your attending your needs. If you interrupt the first burst, whether you are defecating or urinating, Elios brings you to a very dangerous uh, um, um, diseases. That's the word I'm looking for, but it's not coming to mind. Okay, so he writes this about urinating as well. There's no prohibition in action, independent prohibition. Just because you might come to pass gas, he should have let you finish urinating before I take a film. I guess, and not have you take a film. So the Arukh HaShulchan says that the Rambam holds that a chiddush that you're not allowed to urinate in filling. Period. And the Arukh HaShulchan says, I don't really understand. Everybody, all the Rishonim was what they say here. Why should you be allowed to urinate in filling? It's not a clean body if you're urinating. If you to urinate when on your head and on your arm in the proper place for tefillin, it's also no matter what. You should be zoyah on the tefillin because it's degrading to tefillin. The golim, just as if you were defecating. So when you're urinating. Basically say so I was going to ask whether you can go into a permanent bathroom to urinate. Lok Shem Rosho. It's not that on your head. That's the Kohen Ram is also regardless. This is what it means. The Kohen Zaton Rabbana. Before this, we learned in the Brayso. Nichlas Beis Akisei. At time he goes into the bathroom. Cholet Tefillah Rachuk Arba Amos. He takes the film when he's 4 Amos away. Nichlas and he goes in. Rav Shesha says Lo Shalom Beis Kisei Kavua. It's only by a permanent bathroom. I basically say right about the ad hoc place to attend to his needs. Cholet even alter. You can take on film and go in immediately. It doesn't leave 4 Amos away. Should say only when you come out, when you already made it a place where of urination or defecation, then you have to be. This is 4 Amos in order to put it back on. So basically, because by going there, even though it's not in the middle of nowhere, but he made it to have the status of basically say kavua, a permanent bathroom. So boilus on this they ask Mao should go to them feeling basically say kavua lashtin mine. You go into a permanent bathroom in order to urinate. Ravina Shore, he said it's okay about a verava asre b'chulei. Flachi perushin. This is what it means to say. Maushi korik shem biyadav. Can you go in when you're holding them? In tzorach harchoka arba amos. Kemuchin nichlas kavua. So do you need? So of course you have to take them off. But do you have to take them off 4 amos away, like a base kisei kavua, where you're normally going to defecate, or you don't have to be taking more 4 Amos because you're only going into urinate. And the conclusion is that's forbidden. You need to have a distance of 4 Amos regardless when you're going to basically say kavua. Because you might come to defecate or to pass gas. It's as if you are going to defecate. The tzarich yarchoka arba amos after this is up 4 amos and moved it fill. Vikash and Bilav going to have difficult hog shem biyadav asul ashtim neinu shumi tzaitzos when then you're now allowed to urinate in them because of the drops. Achzel lefiyam maskonashon. That's according to the conclusion of the Gemara. The polig hashas of Sheshes v'Rava. The Shas arguing with Sheshes v'Rava baskinu b'trufta and remains with the refutation. Our Sheshes Rava lo svili chashosh nitzaitzas. Our Sheshes and Rava do not hold of the issue of drops. Sheitamu hashta v'ara b'kavua shari b'arai miboy, because they said if in a kavua, a permanent one, it's mutter, it should only be mutter in a ad hoc one, and yet we know that the reason for ad hoc one is because of nitzaitzos, which don't apply to basically say kavua. So it must be right. Well, that it must be that they hold that there's a different reason by arai. By an ad hoc bathroom, which would make it more lenient than a permanent bathroom. And the Shas repeats this. And that's what the Rambam writes. Furthermore, according to the conclusion, the Shas is there no way it's permitted. If it's sitting down or on to chopped up dirt or on an angle, it's permissible. He says this boya is not to allow you to wear film while doing any of these things. It's only a question of distancing for amos. But when they are put in the proper place on the rim, also Hashtim is not allowed to urinate even from the basic halacha. V'da, and you shouldn't zayin. V'da, dezem b'shekosabnu. Sif gim v'shem atur v'shlonorch. T'chshen nichnas abeis hakisi kavua. When you go into a permanent bathroom, mutar l'shin k'shet tefillin biyado. You can urinate while you're holding the tefillin. Ken kosav rabbeinu beis yosef shulchan aruch. But he says it's the same thing. Abba atur kosav bebigdo uviyado. In his garment, in his hands. Shekorchan bebigdo v'ochson yadav. The evidently that the tour, the Beis Yosef holds that you have to wrap them up. I'm telling you, you don't have to wrap them up. And when you're going to just to urinate, you're just holding your hands. But the tour writes you have to wrap them up and hold your hand. And Ram writes the same thing. Therefore, there are those who wrote, Beis Yosef led his readers astray. The Valley Gam who coming us okay, he must hold also that his God being a cloth. Like we saw earlier. So says no, we deliberately wrote it this way. Why? Gam Rashi Pirasham the Rak Ochsam Biyado. Ayin Sham. Rashi in Menachos, wherever it is. He also says all you have to do is hold them in your hand. Now there it's a machlokes anoin. The Beisil savre savarak biyado. The Beisil holds all you have to do is hold them in your hand. Rabbi Akiva savar biyado biyado. Akiva holds have to be in a cloth in your hand. Beisil comes to custody b'chol makom pli Beisil Rabbi Akiva. Those who wrote the whenever the machlokes Beisil Rabbi Akiva look Beisilo. Beisil perakam afkin. Ulos perakei v'okam makamos. Is that here from a Pnei Yoshua? Okay. And this is where Rashi's perspective that he paskins that we go. I'm not sure how we know the Rashi paskins, but in any event, that which the Beis Yosef machmir has to be in a cloth. That's only when you're defecating, which I think for you to see if you like we're going to say later on. So there's no stumbling block. Miu. The Dina Vare Boinam Bibigdo Biyado. Whether we can make the case or not make the case, like Rashi, according to Allah, you have to do it with a cloth in your hand. Came into Rambam Pasuk came first because that's the psak of the Rambam. So the Mishnah Berurah says anytime where there is a possibility that might come to defecate, it has to be bebigdo v'yodo in a base kisei keva, but in a base kisei arai, it can even ad hoc one. It can even be in your hand and still be mutter because there's no problem of drops, as you said before. Ches that which they wrote when it's ad hoc. A place you're allowed to urinate when they're even when they're on your head. Also, but you're not allowed to hold them on your hand. But you have to take them off 4 amos away. Give them to your friend. Ayin Sham. This is astonishing. It hasn't been used as a bathroom yet. Why do you need to take off them 4 amos away? I'm sorry. Because the prohibition is only because of the drops, and that Rambam is only do drops. Rambam doesn't write the evidence is 4 amos. I think we were told before entering a base kisei arai, going into a place to on an ad hoc basis. and therefore they only wrote that it's going on a permanent bathroom. Abarai ain't tzorich richuk arba amos. For a temporary bathroom, you don't need to distance yourself 4 amos. Avaloni rekemil. So this is Magen Avram's Pshat in Shulchan Aruch. Avaloni and Taz also. Avaloni rekemil shoyim. Doesn't seem like that's what they're actually saying. Ulai desfile. Perhaps they hold the gamba right tzorich harchoka arba amos. They hold also by ad hoc bathroom. You still need harchoka arba amos. Madam Rav Sheish the Gemara Sham Darai Cholotz and Nifla Altar. Now Sheish says you can take him off and go to the bathroom immediately. He shmita Rif Ramos left out by the Rif from the Rambam. So they don't have that. The Talmud Nira, and it could be their reason is the Mishum the Glo Kaima Rav Sheish is Pesach Sugya because they don't pass on Rav Sheish at the end of the Sugya Lina Ochsam Biyodo by Arai. They hold your hand in an ad hoc bathroom. What should have no? Since they say the same thing, we don't hold like both of them. Again from the Pnei Yeshua. The Mishnah Berurah says that which the Mechaber says to take him off 4 amos away is specifically talk about a kavua, and if it's a right, then you can take him off and urinate immediately. Yeah. So, Sif test. Customer remain base Yosef. The base Yosef is base kisei kavua, a permanent bathroom. Hainu Butza is one which has excrement in it, by definition. Obviously, that's why Hainu holds our bathrooms are not a base kisei kavua pidin, because it's always flushed away. But this way about an outhouse or something like that, where there is, I mean, they only had outhouses back then. So there's excrement there. Vua pneas are there, below chafira. But it's not. It's sitting on the ground. It's not dug down into a pit. Basically, say a rai, an ad hoc bathroom. It's like when you urinate. Where you don't bother going to the bathroom. This is the first time this place is being used for a bathroom. Real dachi perusho. So Arukh HaShulchan qualifies. This is what he thinks the pshat is. Before that, Shulchan wrote 2 halachas about a piece kisei kavua. The kshem barosho, when on your head, also ashtin shem, you can't urinate because you might come to defecate. Ukshem biyodo mutashim, but when they're in your head, you're allowed to urinate. Ubaraiko said mutashim kshem rosho, and by a temporary one, he said the opposite. You can urinate when they're on your head, but also barosh also menal on your head. So everybody says this base kisei, which I said is okay when you hold your hand, even if it's not an outhouse with a pit, even if it's flush on the ground. The low time, but don't say since it's without a pit. Most harbe, it's very disgusting. Hand in your hand while urinating. Come on, ain't okay. So it's not like that. And then he says the Barashi title called Shem Barosh, that which I prepared for you. The occasionally. I'm sorry, in a temporary bathroom that you're allowed to do it. You're allowed to urinate even when they're on your head. Lo temoshiyesh ad ko beis akisei arai. Don't. It's not talking about where there was already an ad hoc bathroom there. The case didn't permit it for you. This is its inaugural use. The Mepharshim explaining his intent. The if it's covered, it's so go from if the excrement is on the field, never go 4 amos away. And from that they had grave difficulties. See there. No king. He doesn't make that distinction. Ubi uro kimosha kosavnu. And the explanation is, as we wrote, that on his head, he's not allowed to urinate inside the permanent bathroom. When they're in hand, he's allowed to. In a temporary bathroom, you're allowed to urinate when they're on your head, but you're not allowed to put them in your hand. Okay? Um, and there's no difference between covered or uncovered, whether it's, meaning if it's dug out or not dug out. The Mishnah Berurah says, the Pri Megadim says that even if it's been used several times for urination, nevertheless it can be considered to be a right, which would be a significant gula. Be'er Locha talks about a place where where it smells bad because of the urine which is constantly there. It's considered like a beis kisei kavua, or like a bedpan, not a bedpan, like the I forget what it's called, but they used to urinate into at night before they had toilets. Avicha meraglaim, which has the status of excrement midaraisa, or in this manner we not distinguish, and you're allowed to put a urinate with tefillin, and Mishnah Berurah evidently spends some time on this, says Ayin Shom. And then the Mishnah Berurah writes that if the pit is not dug, there's no pit, so they have to take away 4 amos away. But if it's a pit, then the pit is reshus in and of itself, and it doesn't have the on top doesn't have a din beis kisei at all. You can even walking down when you're filling is on you. Nevertheless, before you urinate, you should have to take them off according to every opinion, like any other beis kisei kavua, in order to urinate. But to defecate, it sounds in the Beis Yosef that you have to be machmir to take off the tefillin 4 amos away, even from the new place which you're inaugurating now by defecating there for the first time. Even if you are in a place which was never before a bathroom, but somewhere random in your yard or in the field.